think this is so important, I decided to write some things down. When I was doing my Master's of Forest Conservation at the University of Toronto, by far the most influential book that I read and inspired me was Cities and Natural Process by Michael Huff, written in 1995. I did not know I'd be following the sun, so I hope my remarks match. He was the one that was responsible for this landscape, and we lost him a decade ago, as Adrian obviously said. But what that book did at the time was challenge the dominant view that the city was a place you built out of concrete and glass and asphalt for efficiency and commerce, while nature was something you went and visited on the weekend, or maybe as an afterthought you just put a row of trees between two rows of concrete. And I think Michael argued very persuasively, with many real-life examples, that cities should be built to incorporate nature. Yeah! To embrace nature, foster nature, living together, buildings, people, trees, water, wildlife, for the betterment of all. And it's absolutely doable. This idea really captured my imagination, and ever since, as an arborist, I've tried to do this. I named my own company City Forest because I was so inspired by this notion of these two disparate ideas, meshing them together in a way is the most satisfying because we can be done. And I think there's few better examples of that philosophy than where we're standing right now. Thousands of trees when this was first built and all over the years, rolling hills, buildings nestled in amongst all of that. Ed Seidler's glorious building over there, just floating in space, defying gravity, just leaving the lake below disturbed. It's not thrust into the lake, it's not pushing the wake away, filling up with concrete, it's just floating over top of it. You can stand in it, look down, and admire that beautiful space. I gotta be honest, one of my fondest memories of this place was as a child walking on a path through the trees, and then just not far over there, and we came upon music, a performance. It was the old Forum. People remember the Forum? Yeah. Jeff Healy was playing. One of the bands. All of this liveliness, happiness, and it was free. We just walked up and started watching it, standing under these trees. Not a vast parking lot, not concrete, but trees, music, culture, joy. I would get in trouble for my wife if I didn't say, actually, my fondest memory was I was married on the roof of the pods 11 years ago. Jill and I were founders of Safety Magazine. That's how we met, and what a better place than, I'm going to get emotional, but to get married over there. So when Norm asked me to speak about these trees, I was happy to oblige, obviously. I've been following the news, of course, but being from the East End, I didn't get out here as much. My pandemic retreat was the Leslie Street Spit, another amazing, remarkable place. So I decided to come out yesterday and get reacquainted with the site. And as an arborist, I must say, initially, I was a little underwhelmed by some of the trees. There's some dead trees right there. There's trees wrapped in lights. There's a few that have been damaged by the previous work. And that's not any fault of the trees or Michael Huff, that's the fault of neglect and nothing more. And that's what's happened over the recent years. But don't throw things, I'm not saying these trees aren't valuable, because almost immediately I started exploring. I was busy individual trees. It's so easy to talk about 850 trees, 850 that, but when you actually start talking about the individual lives of these trees, you start to realize how valuable they are. I decided to make a Twitter thread. I'm going to call it Twitter. About what I saw. And in a short time I spent here last evening, I went from being underwhelmed to completely emotionally overwhelmed. I can't tell you, I get emotional. So let me tell you what I saw. Just over there, not 100 meters, there's a willow tree. It has 3 stems, they're each about this big. Together those stems equal 270 centimeters. Can you imagine growing that on the roof of a building? Never going to happen. It's not going to happen. Right beside it, there's another willow, one single trunk, 131 centimeters diameter. That tree is probably the largest tree on the property, 131 centimeters in 60 years from that day that Adrian was standing here with his father. That's what that's what we have here. That's what we built. 60 years. Think about that math, though. I'm going to be long gone before any trees they put on the roof of this building are ever going to reach that. There's a grouping of spruce trees over there that are up now over taller than the actual silos. There's native Virginia creeper. You know, if any gardeners here, you probably don't like it, but I absolutely love it because it's taking over this site. It's growing up and over. You can see the red of it over there growing over that wood structure. It's growing over top of the silos. Yeah. It's beautiful, and it's a seed source for hundreds of different birds. There's native sugar maples right there. There's our native sugar maple on our flag. They're turning orange right now. Absolutely gorgeous, right beside us. There's a stand of white pines, Ontario's native tree, producing seeds. Yeah. And I get sad when I think that those seeds, if this place is destroyed, will never germinate. There's a poplar. You can just see it make it out over top of the silos over there right behind you. By far the tallest tree on the site. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 65 feet or even 70. Absolutely gorgeous, just swaying there in the wind. And then these behind us, these beautiful larch trees. You know, I don't see a lot of larch. They're one of the only deciduous trees that loses their needles, so they're quite exceptional. And the fact that they're standing right here, some of the biggest ones I've seen downtown. I learned that there's a birder named Peter. Maybe some of you know him. Marty Zeiler was telling me about him. I saw him yesterday with a giant camera. He said he's seen well over 100 species of birds here. And he said just over there is one of the greatest sites, largest concentrations for the greatest diversity of birds he's seen in an area this small. It's just a remarkable place. And then over here, just behind us, see those big poplars, they have all the spikes taken out of them by a beaver. So there's a beaver on this site. And this is going to sound like I made this part up, because it's not believable, but I was sitting literally on those chairs yesterday writing this stuff down, and not more than 3 feet away from me that a fox trotted by me. 3 feet. I took a video. Somewhere if you want to see it, so it's real. I'm not just making it for the story. But then I got emotional because I think about if this place gets bulldozed, I can't imagine that fox would survive. I mean, where is it going to go? Is it going to go live, you know, in the exhibition? Like maybe, but it just speaks to. And will Peter come here to look at birds anymore? I mean, I doubt it. They're not going to be able to come. So don't get me wrong, you know, I've worked as an arborist doing development for a long time, and in cities, trees sometimes need to come down, especially to allow for new developments. That's how we build housing, that's how we build hospitals, that's how we build transit. And some people will argue that the tree over there that's dead, and there is one that's dead, you know, those ash trees that were killed, it might need to come down. That one over there might need to be taken down because they have to take down some dangerous structure to allow for the new construction, some construction they plan to do. But I would say that's fair. So what are you going to put back? And if the answer is we're going to save as many of these trees as possible, and we're going to build another trillion park around them, with hundreds of native trees, places to play, places to congregate. $43, $53, or $83, we just walk here. I can get behind that. But if the answer is no, we're going to cut these trees down for a giant glass and concrete spa that will raise this entire island, kill thousands of migratory birds, be an enormous carbon bomb to maintain it, and it will cost the people hundreds of millions of dollars or more, well then I would say, no damn way. Yeah. One more chance and then we'll choose. I would say that no damn way, you're on the wrong side of history, and we're going to fight you every step of the way.
Use your whistle.
We won the Greenbelt battle. We can win this one. Thank you for coming. Thank you for appreciating these trees. I love you all. Thanks so much.